Hello, how are you? If you're good, great, happy. If not, I'm glad you're here. So, today something happened in the world political stage. I don't really want to make this YouTube channel political or religious or any of those buzzword things that you're not supposed to talk about because it's so controversial and divisive. But I think it's important to talk about when something major happens. Sometimes it can leave you feeling confused or helpless or just without anybody to really put any context into things. Now, you can go your whole life and never care about these things. In fact, sometimes I'm real envious of people who do that. The reason that the phrase ignorance is bliss is a phrase is because it's true. So many times I wish I wasn't paying as much attention as I do to anything around me, really. It'd be nice to have such a lack of awareness that the only thing that matters is right in front of me. The problem with that, though, is that if you don't know what's going on, you can easily slip into ignorance. I don't know if that's a good look for anybody. I think it's important to at least have a base understanding of the things that are going on around you. As far as how that affects mental health, not well. So we just had the holidays, and I'm sure that everybody spent time with their families, if you're lucky enough to have a family. And there were probably conversations about politics or things going on that were probably uncomfortable at times. A lot of times families fight about things like that. I think the important thing to remember with something like that is that you care enough to have that argument. And so do they, which is nice to see, that passion for something that's important to an individual. I think the problem comes in when that opinion becomes identity. And if that's all you are, is how you feel about a particular thing. And honestly, it doesn't have to be politics. It could be a sports team. It could be a music artist. It could be anything. It could be Ford versus Chevy. It's kind of silly because in the end, does it matter? No, not really. It doesn't matter. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is, yes, something major happened today. I'm not going to go into it because this channel is not going to be about that. It's about, I think, how we deal with information, how we live knowing certain things and not knowing certain things. I think it's okay if you don't watch the news, if you reject all of the social media that deals with politics, because it is a deep, dark hole sometimes. I think that if that becomes your identity, then you're not going to be having a very good time, because from what I've seen, it doesn't matter what side you're on. There's going to be an argument. And I believe debate is healthy and important and good. Argument is where you stop talking about facts, stop talking about realities, and you inject your own opinion as the rule. At that point, all you're doing is wanting to be right. And it doesn't matter what the argument's about. It's that you're right. For whatever reason, that gives you some joy, some satisfaction that you beat somebody, that you bested them in whatever argument you were making. The reality of it, though, is that you didn't change any minds. All you did was fight. You raised your voice, you made what you thought was a sound argument for something, and it didn't resonate. It didn't stick. So you're going to be hearing a lot. I don't think you're going to be able to escape what happened yesterday, or excuse me, last night. Today is January 3rd. So it happened overnight last night. You're not going to be able to escape it. You're going to be bombarded with it in social media and just general daily life. If you don't, congratulations. You've made your bubble so small that you're immune to these sort of things. For the rest of us, though, we do have to acknowledge it. We do have to accept that this is something that's happened, and it's going to be very confusing and scary over the next couple of weeks. If things escalate, if things disappear from the radar, as they tend to do lately, I think it's important to realize that we're all human. We all have opinions and feelings, and sometimes maybe it's a good idea just to go outside and take a walk. Clear your head. Don't get so bogged down in having to pick a side. You don't have to pick sides. There's no rule that says you have to. I wish I didn't pick sides. I tend to, only because I tend to consume as much information as I can find out there. Some of it I really don't like because it's telling me things that I don't agree with. Part of that, I believe, is personal growth, is being exposed to things that you don't necessarily agree with and trying to understand a different point of view. That's hard to do. But if there's something that I've learned from very early in my life, is that you have to accept other people. You have to accept other opinions, points of view, in order to form your own in the most intelligent, responsible way. So this was kind of rambling today. I didn't mean it to go as long and winding and twisting as it did. On a lighter note, I forgot yesterday was Thursday. Actually, yesterday was not Thursday. Yesterday was Friday. See, I don't even know where I am in this week. Today is Saturday the 3rd. So I'm scatterbrained sometimes, just like you might be. Don't beat yourself up over that, because that's why we have phones. Phones will tell us, oh, it's Saturday the 3rd. Anyway, I think I'm going to go for a walk. I'll see you tomorrow.